Anti-Semitism has been on the rise around the world, including in the United States. And our next guest is unfortunately no stranger to this phenomenon. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, an international best-selling author, relationship expert, and founder of World Values Network, known as America's Rabbi, has experienced 2 anti-Semitic hate crimes in Miami just this week. And joining us now to discuss his experiences is Rabbi Shmuley Boteach. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Think about the irony. I'm currently in Milan, Italy. You can see the beautiful artwork behind me that is so characteristic of Italy. And I just met an American Jewish tourist who told me that the synagogue in Milan has tanks outside with soldiers holding machine guns. And he said, wow, that's what Europe is like. I said, you're kidding me, right? That's what New York is today like. That's what Miami is like today.
It's a very, very scary reality.
I am shocked that it is... Well, I grew up in Miami, Florida. Dade County, Florida, 1 out of 3 people is Jewish. It's the second largest Jewish community in the United States. More than 1 million Jews live in Dade County. And the hotel where this took place, one night, a guy came and started screaming at me about my yarmulke and tried to rip it off. And then the next night, as you see, these 2 men who self-identified as Arabs. And I want to be clear that Muslims and Arabs are my brothers and sisters, but not haters like these. These guys came over, and if you could see the hostility in their eyes, the hatred in their eyes, if you could see the language, the foul language, the absolute contempt, the unbridled vitriol that they feel towards Jews. And this is in the heart of Miami, where I was raised, which is known as one of the most Jewish cities, in the world. This is truly shocking. And it's happening everywhere. So like I said, I'm in Europe currently, where Jews have gotten accustomed to anti-Semitic hate crimes as a matter of course, but now the United States is becoming as dangerous.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious about the incident in Miami that you faced this week. Do you know if these men were held accountable? Were they questioned by police? Did you follow up on this?
I absolutely followed up. The reason why I'm not identifying the venue where this took place is because I don't believe in shaming venues that take anti-Semitism seriously. As soon as I contacted the chief executives, the highest executives of this corporation, they immediately began to question their security. Their security handled it terribly. Their security came over to me and said, there's 2 sides to every story. We need to hear their side. I said, what are you talking about? Just look at the optics. You have 2 men in my face. I'm telling them to get away from me. They won't leave. And one of them looks like he's about to punch me in the face. And I'm telling him that if he touches me, he's going to jail. Who is harassing whom? What do you mean there are 2 stories? And then one of the security guards even said to me that you're creating a disturbance among our hotel guests. So I was shocked. But to the credit of the executives, they said that they're going to retrain their security to understand that when you wear a yarmulke, right now in hotels in Florida, you're a target. And it so bothered me, the equation that was done between me and the perpetrators of this hate crime, as if we were both at fault for an altercation. Victims and perpetrators are totally different things. The world is just not used to Jews who stand up for themselves. And I have to tell you, it bothered them that I stood my ground and I said to them, I'm not going anywhere. Touch me and you're going to jail. They expected me to hide my yarmulke, to walk away. And that's why Jews are becoming almost a secret society in the United States. Jews are afraid to wear Magen Davids. They're afraid to wear Jewish symbols. They're afraid to wear kippot. That's why you're seeing in New York that it's Hasidic Jews who are the ones being beaten up right now. People with payot, people who look Jewish. We cannot hide our Jewishness.
I want to ask you, because you said that you published the video in part to raise awareness of growing anti-Semitism in the United States, but also so that Jews learn never to go underground and hide their Jewish identity. I mean, you feel that Jews in the United States now are starting to really hide their Jewish identities out of fear?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? In that video of these 2 men attacking me, you'll see that there's someone else who's wearing a hoodie. Now, that was actually an Orthodox Jewish guy who saw me under attack and came to help me. Question is, why was he wearing a hoodie? And he said to me, I conceal my yarmulke. And so many Jews conceal their yarmulkes because they don't want to happen to them what happened to me. I was the rabbi at Oxford University for 11 years. I saw Jewish students starting taking off their kippot back in Europe in the late 80s and the 90s. Now, on American campuses, on Ivy League campuses, places like Harvard and Stanford, Penn, NYU, which has 6,000 Jewish undergraduates, you barely see kippot. People are afraid to wear a kippah. You can get beaten up as a Jew wearing a kippah in Times Square in middle of New York. So whereas once upon a time, hidden Jewishness was a phenomenon that we witnessed in Belgium, in the United Kingdom, in France. Now we're seeing it in Louisiana, we're seeing it in Missouri, we're seeing it in California, we're seeing it in New York, and it's a very troubling incident.
All right, Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us today.
Thank you. God bless you.